crappie jig is really a great way to catch crappie
on the jig.
Oh, there we go. Just like that. A nice one. Crappie jigging. Okay, we're not seeing the crappie really schooled up, but we just came off of this, or up off this drop off, and you can see right here on the clear view and on the sonar how these fish are sitting right up here above the drop off. You can see them on the sonar, the clear view, and then you can see on the side view what these fish are relating to. There's actually, you know, some stumps and rocks and all off the top of this. We've been looking, and I found this spot, threw the marker buoy out. A marker buoy is a great way to put it out there so you use it as a reference point. You don't ever want to throw it right on your fish, but you throw it off to the side, and then you have a lot better reference point to keep yourself right in the key spot with the fish. You can see the fish are just up here in front of the boat. So we'll get our minnows out and jigs and see what happens. So a crappie jig is really a great way to catch crappie. Nothing fancy, you know, anywhere from a 1/16 ounce up to a 1/4 ounce head, depending on the depth that you're fishing. And you know, they come in a variety of little tube jigs, swim baits, shad bodies. There's a lot of varieties of what they look like. I would definitely say the type of little crappie jig or tube or whatever you're throwing isn't nearly as important as being in the right spot. I mean, there's been numerous times when you get in the right spot, everybody's going to catch them on a variety of colors and sizes. And but as you see, I'm not working the bait. I'm not doing anything crazy with the bait. I've just dropped my rod tip is all I'm doing. Oh, there we go. So there you go, crappie jigging.
On the jig. On the jig, right there.
There's fish right here. We're getting a little bit closer. So I can pitch out here, 20 feet out. I count it down 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 or 6. I'm gonna drop that down there about 6 or 8 foot. And then just raise my rod tip up, drop it every once in a while, because typically crappie are going to bite it on the fall. You're going to reel it along and then just drop that rod tip just like that. See, so now we've got our marker buoy showing us where the fish are, so we can kind of stay backed off of them. We can pitch a jig over there. We could put a minnow on a bobber over there on them, or we could just get on top of them and catch them that way as well.
There we go.
Crappie fishing is amazing, isn't it? So here's what we're using. These are made by Eagle Claw. These are called a ball head jig assortment. It's all I use. I use 1/16, 1/8, and 1/8 and 1/4. They come in a variety of colors. This one I'd fishing a little bit deeper or windier conditions. Today we're using an 1/8 ounce. Variety of little bodies here. We're going to take one of these little guys, put it on there. So there it is. Got the little ball head jig, little jig body. So here you go. Here's where we're sitting at. The boat's here, and you can see out 15 to 20 feet. Those are all crappie. So what I can do is, knowing where they're at now, if I pitch up where the fish are, count it down to about 4 or 5, and then I just slowly work that thing back. And I'm not jigging it. I'm just kind of dropping my rod tip. And a lot of times it's just a little peck. Just pitching that out, count it down, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. And then I just kind of let it pendulum back, keeping my rod tip, and felt a little peck. You know, it's no different in crappie fishing. The same thing with bass fishing is. When it, you know, that's what I love about fishing live bait, especially for kids and people that are new to fishing, is your minnow or your worm or your crawfish or shad or whatever. They're doing all the action. But when it comes to fishing artificials, then you have to be the person that gives that bait the action, and you got to learn to make that bait do what you want it to do, to mimic whatever type of forage that you're trying to do. This type of stuff, we're trying to mimic a little shad or minnow or something along those lines. So that's why it's good for people to watch the forage in the water. A lot of times, if, you know, a lot of people have seen a a dying shad in the water, or when you watch a crawfish in the water, how they dart up off the bottom. You know, most people have watched minnows or shad swim along, and that's what we're trying to do with these crappie jigs, is just trying to put it around the fish and then just put it up there and just kind of entice them to biting like that. A nice one. So there you have it. I've shown you that I keep crappie fishing pretty simple. It's minnows, all about minnows and jigs for me. I fish minnows over the side just with a weight and a hook. Love to fish with a bobber away from the boat, or just simply a jig. Use your electronics and go find them.